Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and it is more than overdue that I make this video. Make sure you send this video to every misinformed dumbass on social media that thinks otherwise. So there have been protests in my home state of Wisconsin and the neighboring states of at least Michigan, maybe Minnesota, that absolutely embarrass us because a tiny percentage, less than 1% of people think, you know what, actually because I want it to be true, it is safe to go back to work and go outside and whatever else. Yeah, I'm sick of sitting home. It's been, 3-4 weeks? Yeah, I don't want to sit home anymore. So because I want it to not be true, it must be true. It must be safe. And so blah, 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 site law thing, governor can't declare this and that legal. There we go. I'm right. I'm superior to everybody. You know, the typical conspiracy theory crap. Newsflash, dumbass, because you want to throw a little temper tantrum like a toddler because I can't go outside and I can't get paid and I like money and food and I need to get a haircut. Nobody gives a shit. 154,000 people have died from this. Imagine if a terrorist attack taking down 2 gigantic office buildings in New York City happened every single day for 52 days. That's where we're at so far. And it's not just chain-smoking dumbasses that are irresponsible idiots. It's not just old people. It's not just cancer patients, okay? Regular, 20 and 30-year-olds are dying from this just because they happen to have, asthma or diabetes genetically. Or absolutely no problem with their lungs at all. They're still dying. You know why? Because in some places, they would have lived if they had a ventilator, but there aren't enough to go around. So, I guess they die. The reason 100% flawlessly healthy doctors and nurses are dying that are in their 20s and 30s is because how sick you get has to do with how much of the virus you were initially exposed to, because that's the starting number when it starts to expand. And it's going to expand out of control in your body, and your body can't react for X amount of days and create antibodies. That's just how it works. So if you really, really, really get a big dose of it from somebody, like you're stuck in the same room with them for 2 hours and they're just breathing and you're catching it and you didn't know it, you are most likely going to die from it without severe medical intervention. And even then, so healthy people are affected by this too. And if you're going to say, yeah, 150,000 people died, but I didn't know them. Well, screw you. What we all need to do is stop touching the same surfaces as each other and stop breathing in each other's faces while we wait for them to test multiple vaccines that already have been shown to work. They basically just have to get approved in a short human study and then go into mass production. Yeah, it turns out that whole it takes 1.5 years to make any vaccine, yeah, that's BS. This one's kind of gotten a little bit of a priority rush behind it, just a little bit of financial backing, a little bit of motivation. There's already a microneedle spike protein vaccine that worked in rats and looks like it works in humans. If I get my hands on one of those, I'd take it right now, okay? But apparently all you don't do science. Somehow this turned into a Trump supporters equal, the governors are stomping on our rights thing. Who you voted for and what political party you back doesn't mean a damn thing when it comes to a virus multiplying in people's cells in their lungs, okay? The math is the math, the science is the science, and just because your uncle's cousin's cat sitter's grandma said, oh, well, I heard from someone who works in the government that actually this is true, yeah, that's bull. Okay, there's so much fake news going out on Facebook. You can't just look at actual fact statistics, verified independent studies that are peer-reviewed by other doctors and then find one that, that agrees with what I want. I'm going to look at that one. With no cited sources whatsoever from some activist website written by someone who literally just completely made it up. The governors can't actually quarantine people who aren't sick. Well, they can't tell if you're sick or not because it is asymptomatic spread. So, yeah, maybe they might not legally be able to do it, but since we don't all want to die and overwhelm and collapse the entire hospital system and the entire economy and have, food delivery collapse and just everything, the whole country, the whole economy in the entire world would collapse. It'd be the end of the damn world. If we were just allowed to just do whatever the hell we wanted and every single business was still open. And I saw a Facebook post that said that we'd reach herd immunity in 2 weeks. Well, that's bullshit, actually. 1, it can't even spread that fast. 2, nobody can recover on their own that fast. 10 to 15% of people require hospitalization. And 3, there ain't that many hospital beds. So just 99% of those people, if it even spread that quick, which realistically would be closer to 6 weeks, well, they would all just die. Oh, well, a 1 in 100 lottery. I hope I don't get it. Oh, that's right. I personally, have an unusual immune disorder that makes my immune system overreact to everything. I would be in the hospital with pneumonia overnight if I caught it, and I would likely die. So I want to go get a haircut and go back to work because I'm too irresponsible to put money in the bank in case something like this happens. Oh, so that's more important than my life, than killing me or killing your grandparents or killing your friend that just had chemo. Are you kidding me? Sit your ass down in your house and do not go anywhere. Get over it. If you are such a basket case that you can't mentally handle sitting on your ass watching Netflix, you are the one with the problem, not your governor, not your state, not your government. No, you are the one with the problem. You are a pathetic human being. If you are too stupid and irresponsible to have 3 to 6 months living expenses to pay your bills and buy basic food at all times sitting in your savings account because you wanted a Lexus and a boat and a bigger house. Oh, I wanted a big TV that now you're too stupid to sit on your couch and watch because you want to go outside and talk to people. Oh, there's layers of irony to this one. Well, you put yourself in this scenario. You should have been prepared to lose your job at any time. Your place of business could have burned down and you'd be without a job tomorrow. You should have been prepared for that. Ask any financial advisor if you should have had 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in the bank. I personally don't make enough money to do that. I've got about 2 months, maybe 1 month living expenses in the bank. I've got debt, I've got medical bills, and I make like 25 to 30 grand a year, okay? So if you were to say, I just don't make enough money to do that, that's not possible for me or my family, I get it. I'm right there with you. Middle to upper class, zero excuse for you whatsoever. Whatever, I still have a buffer, and because I'm not an irresponsible idiot who spends my money like a moron, I have about $40,000 in just snap my fingers instant immediate credit available on all my credit cards. You know why? Because my credit score's over 800. That's my emergency fund. I've got buffers. I've got parachutes. People are like, oh, I live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because of your stupid life choices? I mean, go back to why you have the job you do. Were you too stupid and irresponsible to save for college, or were your parents? Do you have the job you do because you have 3 criminal convictions because you wanted to do drugs and you wanted to do this and do that and you punched your girlfriend and now you got a domestic and you can't get a good job and pass a background check? Well, that's still your fault, isn't it? Unless you are the unluckiest person ever with the most unbelievable sequence of unfortunate events that led you to where you are financially, it is your fault. And to all you middle-class people who very well could have put $1,000 a month aside in a savings account just in case of emergency, but didn't because, like I said, you wanted to buy some dumb shit. Well then, have fun going bankrupt. You deserve it. If it wasn't the coronavirus, it would have been something else. It very well could have been literally anything. You may make all the income in the world, but if you're an idiot with your money and your finances and your budgeting, you're a disaster waiting to happen. Now, anybody who just happened to start a new business in 2019, yeah, okay. There are some very, very, very unfortunate circumstances where you wish you could be back open legitimately. You're overextended. It's a thing. You took a risk. Yay, America, go you. I get it. Go get a free zero interest loan from the government. There are programs here, people. Debt repayments have been deferred. Evictions have been suspended. The government and city councils all the way up and down, federal to local, have been bending over backwards to save your ass. So yeah, boo-hoo, you wanted to start a business and instantly be rich. Well, bad things happen. It could have been this, could have been a hurricane, it could have been a tornado, could have been fire. It could have been a war. Okay, risks are risks. Opening a business is a risk. I have zero sympathy for almost anybody who was negatively affected by this, except for the people that died. That I have sympathy for. But apparently not some of you people who go out protesting, blocking traffic, and holding up Trump signs saying, oh, Trump wants me to go cough in my friend's face because it's ruining his business. You know what happened to places that were irresponsibly still allowed to run right now because they either had to or because they felt like it? Look at all the Amazon facilities, the US Postal, like all these crucial places where all of a sudden they had like 40, 50, 60 positive cases. We're talking like half the employees suddenly came down with COVID, and some of them, multiple of them have already died. Perfectly healthy people have now died because they were forced by being essential to society to go to work, and you just want to waltz back into work because you want a paycheck and something to do. Yeah, I want to go back to selling jewelry or boats or fancy food because I want a paycheck. I hope it doesn't happen at my place of business, a giant outbreak that affects me or my coworkers and my family. That's not a smart gamble, people. If you're not at work right now, it's because nobody in society needs you in your stupid business. Sorry to be the one to break it to you. If your business was remotely important and not some stupid side optional service or product that nobody actually needs, you'd be at work right now. So you want to reopen a company that nobody actually needs right now just so you can collect a paycheck and hopefully your coworkers don't die of COVID. You are a selfish asshole. Because, maybe nobody in your office building, maybe nobody in the shop that you work at, maybe they wouldn't all die. And even if they caught COVID, went to the ICU, were able to find a ventilator, even though you want apparently everybody to flood the hospitals at one time. But then, they recovered, they're cool. Good luck with that $50,000 hospital bill, and that would be on the low end. Some people would prefer death to that level of debt. That's like buying another house. No, because you wanted to go back to work and then, whoops, COVID outbreak. Well, a dozen of my coworkers just had to declare bankruptcy due to medical debt, and 2 of them died. But at least I got to go back to work and collect a paycheck. Oh, and get a haircut and go get some Chinese food. Don't forget that. That's way more important than my coworkers', bank accounts or lives. Or ongoing health problems due to severe lung tissue damage. As long as I can go get some orange chicken, they can breathe through, an oxygen ventilator for the rest of their life. That's fine. So let's just lightning round all the BS. Okay. Oh, we've already hit the peak and we're on the decline, so we should start selectively going back. There have been 709,000 confirmed cases, and there's 350 million people in the US? And they said that just due to where people live and stuff, 60 to 80% would catch it if it was completely uncontrolled. No, we're not at the peak yet. We're not even close. Oh, well, let's just hurry up and get to the peak because then everybody can get better together. And yeah, a certain percentage of people would die, but they would anyway, and we're a year off from a vaccine. Well, I think I actually dispelled every word I just said in that sentence already in the video. The vaccine's closer than we thought. We're not at the peak. It wouldn't reach herd immunity that quickly, and all we would do is overwhelm the hospitals, collapse the hospitals, and entire businesses, individual businesses would just, 50 people caught coronavirus. We have to close. We have to quarantine everybody. Now, instead of, we could operate safely with minimal, interactivity with the public. Oh, now everybody went back to work and, oh crap, now we have to close because we caught it from those dumbasses who wanted to go back to work. And, it just happened at the grocery distribution facility for your entire region. So now nobody in your region gets any food. All the grocery stores just closed. Well, now what are you going to do? Oh, there was an outbreak at your ISP's office because now everybody went back to work. And so, they went out to a restaurant and everybody caught it. And now your internet service provider's office has to close. And whoopsies, all the service crashed because there's nobody there. Well, now nobody in your neighboring cities or your city has any internet. Oops. Oopsies. Or half the doctors and nurses at the hospital caught it and now they have to isolate themselves. Oh, but there's 30 times more people coming in because we all went back to work. I guess they'll all just die. They can just treat themselves, I guess. On what planet is money and finances that will always recover, always have, always will, and there's more resources today to shift around the economy, have people move, get retrained, get different jobs. Some businesses are dying because of this, some are exploding because of this, okay? Move around. This ain't no Great Depression crap. We can come back way quicker. Money moves quicker. We're smarter. We've seen it before. We've got way better experts communicating quicker. The economy can recover from this extremely quickly. You know who can't recover from this? Dead people. So on what planet is money more important than lives? Okay? And at a certain point, would I have the government waste $100 million to save one life? No, there is a value in there somewhere. You got to be reasonable. But 150,000 people have died from this so far with all the mitigations that we've done. By the way, have you seen the chart lately? The total death chart and the total cases chart, the infection one? 90,000 new confirmed infections, so probably with the ones we don't know about, 250,000 new cases in one day with all we're doing right now. What do you think would happen to that graph if we were just total free for all, everybody go do whatever you want, go back to work, all that? If you think it's going up at a pretty steep angle now, it would be a vertical line. And let's just say in some fantasy world that was okay. You know what? Let's just have 5 million people die. Let's get it over with. Everybody just gets infected on purpose. You just go die in your house because you ain't getting into the damn hospital. And okay, whatever, we're over it. Cool, now we can fix the economy and go back to work. Yay, too bad for those people. Wait a minute. What happens when you have a virus that replicates 1,000 times more than it would have? It's 1,000 times more likely to mutate. And if it mutates to the point where it's no longer affected by the antibodies because it has different surface proteins, everybody catches it again. The number one reason that we should not just say, who cares, let's get this over with, everybody's going to die is going to die. Yeah, if we do it quickly, more people are going to die, but oh well, the economy. it increases the probability that this virus would mutate to some, B form of it, which there's already 2 forms of it, by the way. It just so happens that if you're immune to one, you're probably immune to the other, so whatever. But if it changed enough and it comes back around through the population again, we get to start this all over again, except everybody who had it has existing lung damage that's going to take a long time, if ever, to heal from it. So the second time around, maybe it mutated to spread even more effectively or be 10% more deadly. Oh, then people already have existing, scar tissue and dead cells and stuff in their lungs, and now they get infected again. Well, then maybe the death rate wouldn't be 1 or 2%, it would be 30%. You want to see the collapse of an economy or a society, have 30% of people die. See how that goes. That is why every scientist, doctor, and researcher and, disease control body in every country agrees, stay at home, limit your contact with other people, and wait for a vaccine or for enough people to slowly, gradually be immune to it that they can go back to work and society and the economy can slowly kind of creep back up into, getting the gears going again. And by the way, you want to see economic damage? Have 5 million people in the US die. Do you even know what that would do to the social security system, to real estate prices with that many open houses? You can't just take a dent out of the population like that and pretend like the economy would be good. We're doing less damage to the economy with businesses closed and people staying alive. Trust me. Speaking of that, what is the number 1 goal right now? In case you're too stupid and you've been looking at the wrong, sources, this is the truth. The number 1 goal besides a vaccine right now is to do widespread testing for antibodies, not an RNA test for the presence of the virus, which would mean that you're infected whether you know it or not, or are showing symptoms or not, or you're a carrier or not, but an antibody test to test if you are currently immune to it. Whether you had it briefly and it didn't affect you much because of random genetics, a random anomaly in your immune system, you're just an immune person, that's always a thing with every illness. Or if you were exposed, but it was such a small amount that when it started spreading from 1 virus to like 10 viruses to 100 viruses per cell, it was such a low initial starting number that you were exposed to that your immune system killed it and made T cells that can spit out antibodies, and you're actually immune and never knew it because you never had enough viruses to be infected, but you do have a level of antibodies that would stop you from getting infected. So this whole time you could have gone back to work. So that's real, that's happening right now. It's called, I believe, an inoculation exposure. It's not enough to get you sick, but it's enough to make you immune or resistant to the disease to the point where you could go participate in society and do whatever you want. So they've developed a test, they're trying to roll it out, large scale, make sure it works, make sure it's accurate, obviously, or oh my God, if it wasn't accurate and they made a mistake, that would be bad. But they're trying to roll this out in every country right now, an accurate working antibody presence test so that people can say, it is safe for me to go back to work. I can't catch this. I can go back to restaurants, whatever. And then only the people without the antibodies have to sit home. So, you'd be playing a little roulette wheel on I wonder if I was lucky enough to get an inoculation dose or whatever. But there's some theories and some early numbers that are looking like, because it's airborne and because apparently now it can live on the surfaces of fabric, your shoes they've been tested positive for, even metal surfaces in direct sunlight for up to 17 days. That if you've been going around to the grocery store and all that, you might have been exposed to an amount in the air and surfaces and whatever slowly over time that you have developed an immunity and you never knew it. And it might be a very large portion of the population. So it might be safe for some of us to go back to work or just in general stop self-quarantining. But obviously we have to know which people it is. So they're working on that. They're working on a virus. In the meantime, sit your ass home. Stop whining about it. Stop being a baby, an immature little toddler throwing a tantrum. Well, I want to go outside. Me like money. I don't like spending money from my savings. I want to eat food and style my hair and talk to my neighbor. Wah, wah, wah. Shut the hell up. You are not acting like an adult. You're acting like an idiot. You're acting like a stupid little kid, a stupid and entitled little spoiled brat. Nobody cares about your feelings that you're a little bit stressed out. Somebody who had half their family died from this is probably stressed out too. But I ran out of things to watch on Netflix and now I want to go get Chinese food. Shut the f*** up. Stop protesting, stop whining, stop posting fake BS on Facebook. Stop looking for fake scientific articles that are just made up. Just stop. Just sit home and stop. You are making all of humankind look stupider every time you open your mouth to whine about this. I mean, the average person who thinks, well, I haven't personally seen it, so it must not be a real threat. I can't extrapolate, predict the future, or any of that. If I haven't personally seen it, it hasn't happened to me, then it must not actually, in my mind, be real. You are dumber than the average chimpanzee. You're the kind of person that speeds and speeds and speeds until you get a speeding ticket and then you stop. Or, yeah, I've seen how the life is destroyed by cocaine, but until I try it once, I can't really, make a determination. That is like amazing levels of stupidity. I can look at facts, numbers, studies, and be like, you know what? I'm going to make a pre-informed decision about this without having to have it personally happen to me. Well, look at the numbers on this pandemic. If you don't come to the conclusion of, holy crap, I better sit my ass home, then you're an idiot. Now, we'll agree, a lot of politicians are like, I'm going to use this opportunity to try to push gun control or this or that or pass this law, and then we're going to pass this temporarily, but then we're never going to take it away because, people don't like their rights being taken away, but this is the time to pounce on it. Yeah, that's a real thing that has historically happened. Okay, I get it. But people saying sit home so that you don't kill people, that is backed up by facts. So yes, keep an extra more than normal vigilant eye on your politicians for them to try to pass, BS bills that would have ongoing consequences past when this ends. That's real. You should be talking about that. You should be concerned about that. That is actually happening. But the people saying, I'm going to go block traffic and protest because tyranny and I don't get a paycheck and I want one. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want too, but sometimes bad circumstances happen. You don't always get everything you want in life, you brat. Little constitutional questionable gray area about whether or not they can technically do this on a technicality. Let's all hit the theater, y'all. What they logically should have done is said, this is so bad and so critical and so important, so many lives are on the line, we're just going to declare martial law day one. That's what they should have done. They're trying to be nice about it. They're trying to just kind of fudge the laws to kind of skate a gray area and make it as not disruptive and scary to as many people as possible, okay? That's how this all came about. So cut the crap with I'm going to sue so that I can go outside and operate my stupid, needless business where I sell luxury goods that nobody needs. No, they're just going to crack down a different, more legal, more within the rule of law way, and you're not going to like it. I would recommend you just play along, take what you got now, and just go with it. If you think that, the governor can't tell me to stay home because I'm not proven to be infected and a hazard to everybody else, yeah, technically, but they still don't want the virus to spread out of control and destroy the entire world, so they're just going to enforce a curfew with the National Guard and people with guns rolling down your neighborhood. Is that what you want, or do you want to just comply with it the way it is now? Wait for the antibody tests, wait for the vaccine. In the meantime, keep your big stupid mouth shut and look to actual reputable sources for statistics and actual news. So in other words, not the World Health Organization and not Trump. Sincerely, Desolator Magic, a hyper-fiscal and moral conservative that voted for Trump. Send this video to all your idiot family on Facebook. Thank you. If you want to artificially increase the exposure of this video and make sure it shows up in everybody's feed, leave any comment down below and leave a thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care which. And the more inbound views from third parties, the better. I want this to get 10 million views on YouTube. If it gets any less, I'll be disappointed. I'm just out here spreading the truth. I could be making a video about Magic the Gathering right now. I've made over 2,000 videos on YouTube, but this is more important. I'm probably going to turn mid-rolls off on this video. I don't even need to make money on this. I'm broke as shit, but I need people to know this. I need people to watch this without disruption. So do your part, blow up social media with this video. We got to spread the truth and get these people to stop making us all look so damn stupid. Stay home, wash your hands, get the vaccine when it comes out, or get the antibody test when it comes out. Get first in line with that, spend some money on that. And if you test positive for the antibodies, get some 90% off $80 flight to Italy and go shake hands with every random person on the street. At that point, good for you. Until then, stop trying to kill millions of people worldwide. Thanks. This video can be shared absolutely in its entirety as is under the Creative Commons attribution only license, and any small to medium segments that want to be quoted or used in news or in your own video, absolute 100% public domain. Feel free, I will not copy strike anybody. Even if it's not fair use or it's borderline, go for it. This needs to get out and I would be honored if you quote me in it.